Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, we all know that our democracy has basically stopped working. Our government is dysfunctional and can't get anything done. Now, government has never been perfect, but it used to function. Democrats and Republicans worked together, reached across the aisle, across partisan divides, across ideological divides, to get stuff done for the people of this country. I mean, our government built our infrastructure, including our roads, our bridges, tunnels, waterways, our electrical grid, our waste disposal systems. It corrected the wrongs of slavery and segregation and discrimination. It gave women the vote. The USA became a great country because it had a great government. So what happened? The rich happened. That's what happened. It began with the anti-tax movement. Now, it's not like taxes are anybody's favorite thing. And there can be legitimate arguments about what rates are fair, what should be taxed and what shouldn't be taxed, and what the government should spend money on, and how to administer taxes. But any sensible person understands that the government provides worthwhile services and benefits that need to be paid for. But in spite of the fact that the rich benefit from the government far more than anyone else, they seem to feel no obligation to pay for it. So they created the anti-tax movement. But they just couldn't come out and say that they didn't want to pay taxes because they're greedy bastards with no sense of patriotism. So they created a myth that the government is evil and oppressive and can't do anything right. Now, if you asked most people who are part of this anti-government thing, they would actually have a very difficult time explaining how the government was oppressing them. I mean, most of us go through life without really feeling much of what the government does, even as we're benefiting from it. We drive on the roads and turn on our lights and flush our toilets, and don't realize that all of those things are government services. Government created the internet that this video is on now, but we think of it as a private enterprise right now. Most people really don't notice the government much, but the rich, they notice the government because they don't like being told what to do. The Koch brothers, for example, don't like not being able to just dump their toxic sludge in our rivers. Bankers don't like being told that they can't cheat the people that they give loans to. Oil companies love to cut corners, but hate to be held accountable when they foul our environment. To them, regulation is oppressive. So they back anti-government candidates who, once elected, see their job as making the government weaker, as preventing the government from working. The rich put their money behind morons because they know that if they can put stupid people into positions of power, it will weaken the government even more. They say they are returning power to the people, but in reality, the power vacuum is filled by the corporate elite. The anti-government movement was never a grassroots movement. It was a movement created and nurtured by the rich in order to avoid paying their fair share of taxes and to escape regulatory oversight. But in doing this, they have done a lot of damage to this country. And they've infringed on all of our rights, because now the corporations wield power that should be in the hands of the government and the people. So the rich have made this once great country a shadow of its former self. Thanks for listening.